to come and meet my alleged brother, right? So the guy came now, and he made a whole scene. He basically was trying to tell people like, oh, I'm going to call the police, I'm going to call the fire department, all kind of stuff. Like, he was just really making a ruckus at that day, like that morning. And the landlord came up to me, and she was just like, who is name like basically my brother's name, right? And I'm like, that's my brother. She's like, your brother? She's like, you have to go. Mind you, she had a spot downstairs where I was renting out, but it wasn't what you would call um she had a stove and stuff like that illegally in the basement, pretty much. And she didn't want to get in trouble. She didn't want to get caught up for that or whatever, right? So I was just like, dang, like, I didn't even know I was in this type of situation. Like, you renting me a place that you're not even supposed to be renting out in the first place. But boom, she told me I have to get out simply because she didn't want me to get her in trouble. So push come to shove, my brother came over and he was trying to talk to her, but I I knew that it was just all a setup at the end of the day, because like you really try to get your lick back from the time when you was in jail for like almost 10 years, and I actually lost your paperwork. I did the most that I can for you, and you basically got mad at me because I lost your paperwork. And to this day, like, he's having a grudge over that, and I don't have nothing to do with that, simply because like I was going through so much as far as moving and trying to keep up with life in general, nigga. Like, he thinks that I did that on purpose, but it never was my intent to even lose any of his things. As a matter of fact, I actually lost stuff as well too, so it was never purposeful. So anyway, he basically lined that up for me. Actually ended up having to move out within after months, and this was like back in October or November, and I didn't actually move out of that house until like May. They tried to set me up and saying that like the night I had moved out, I set the house on fire, and like all this craziness, And so, the S lady, the mother, my mother, she was actually a part of that too. She was getting like she was actually being in cahoots with the landlord at the time and trying to have me kicked out of that house, pretty much. Like, she didn't want to see me have anything at all, pretty much. She didn't even want to see me happy. Like, she always wanted to see me down, depressed, unhappy, mad, sad. Like, and I realized that I started being in an illusion. I didn't start my awakening up until 2019, when I was about 24, right? And this all was happening around the time when I was going through all this stuff with the apartment that I had, when I was supposed to be moving out and being harassed day by day. I have to call the police from time to time just to have them stop harassing me and basically invading my privacy, coming into the basement and checking on the boiler, but really just seeing what I have on and what I'm doing, and if I packed up my stuff already, stuff like that. Just weird shit. But um I realized when I started going through my awakening that people did not really love me like how they say they do. Like, I was really living in an illusion where I thought that this family was really my family when they really weren't. I wasn't awakened. My third eye wasn't open. So I'm just thinking that like I'm going through all these stuff all simply because like it's tough love. No, it's not tough love. They didn't like me at all. They didn't even like my guts. They hated me. And I did not notice. Like, I'm being so loyal and loving to these people, and the whole time they plotting on me. Like, boom, 2020 come in, and now I'm actually third eye open. I'm seeing what's going on. I started watching tarot readings and started realizing like who I am. Started finding out my life path number, my birth chart, studying all these things. You know what I'm saying? And actually trying to know who I really am, right? So come to find out, like I started realizing that this family had so many secrets through the tarot readings that I was hearing. Like everybody kept on saying, like, somebody's hiding something from you. You have an inheritance, and you are of a royal family, and this, that, and the third. And I used to hear it so repetitively, so I just started praying to God, like, just show me signs, show me synchronicity, show me like what is really going on in my life, so I could really put the pieces together. To this day, I really don't know exactly what's really going on, but one thing I know for certain is that that family that I have is not real, bro. They are not real. They are not my family for real. But anyway, I just like started being more into spirituality, and one day God just told me like start a tarot channel. And this is back in 2020. Like, start a tarot channel. First, I started really studying cards. I bought my own set of cards because I wanted to know, like, what is this? Who is these people in my so-called family? Like, why do they treat me the way they treat me? They always been neglecting me. They always been treating me like I don't exist. They always been acting like I'm a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just always try to throw some shit on me. Like, so I got tired of it. I really did. I started distancing myself from them so that I can learn what is going on in my life, like who I am, what am I here for, and all these things. And when I got these tarot cards and I started studying them and actually realizing like what's going on with me, I seen so much stuff. Like my family have so many secrets. They had so many lies and deception that they had placed over me to have me thinking that they was my family when they really ain't. They just used to do so much wicked things to me, and it just never used to add up to me. Like, why would family do this to me when everybody else family be so loving and caring, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it just ain't make no sense. So I started doing more and more research. I realized that B ain't really my daddy. Like, he's not my daddy. My real daddy is possibly dead. This is just alleged. I'm not saying this is actually really true because I don't know until there's DNA tests involved and all these things. But this is from what I've read through tarot divination and all these things. So I realized that he's not really my actual pops. And